So I wonder if I should edit. That's gonna be more work if I edit the one that we already did and try to piece them together. So I'm gonna start recording from scratch, like it's a brand new episode.
Yes, because it's brand new. It's new.
Yeah. So even this right here, I'm gonna upload it to YouTube. But before I do it, I can cut this little front part out. Nobody will know. Okay. Excuse me. Editing, like cutting the front or the end off, is not bad. Mm-hmm. The problem comes in when you try to edit like in the middle of it.
Oh yeah, get choppy because you can't really make it flow.
Right. So I wish I could. Instagram don't let you be great from the computer. I don't think.
It don't.
And my camera is trash from the MacBook.
Oh yeah, mine too. I really wish they would have updated. They did all the updates with the iPhones and all that stuff. I wish they would update the cameras on here.
Hey guys, told you I was gonna come find her.
Found me, here I am.
Right, because I'm like, oh man, it was her idea for us to be in person. I was like, no, let's just do virtual because I'm all lazy and shit, and I didn't want to have to put no pants on. So, but the connection wasn't doing what it needed to do, and she has some very valuable information that she needs to share. So I'm going to start over. And she got shit to do today. She's a busy woman, so I'm gonna record now. Those of you who have no clue what's going on, I'm recording for my podcast, which is out on every podcast platform. New episodes every Monday, except for last Monday I didn't. And I'm gonna explain why as soon as I hit record. Okay, so welcome to another episode of Alchemy with A to Z. I'm your host, A to Z, and I have my friend Khaleea Powell here with me. Let me move this over. The whole speaker is supposed to be connected so we can both be heard, and I'm just moving so fast.
No worries. We're gonna make it work.
Make it 2 to 2.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, last week, I've been on a roll, like 8-9 weeks in a row, right? Last Monday, okay, so every week I just ask God, like, what do you want me to talk about, right? Because it's always something that somebody need to hear, right? So anyway, last Monday I got into a physical altercation. Y'all know me, I don't fight, okay? I'm way too cute for that. But, yeah, and I didn't want to talk about it because it wasn't positive, right? And I also didn't want to give any energy to it, so I didn't talk about it. But it was what kind of it shaped my day. So me not talking about it left me not talking about nothing. So I've decided from this week on, whatever's going on, I'm gonna have to share with you guys because that's life and it's real. And a lot of times when people only see you being positive, they think that you're lucky and nothing bad ever happens to you. They don't know that you're not sharing the fucked up shit because you don't want nobody to be sad.
Exactly.
We know a lot of women don't share what's wrong to protect your peace. I don't want you, but it's in real life, we all go through shit. So my friend is here to talk to us about mental health awareness because it is May, and I think it's a month where the most suicides happen, and I think it's just a whole lot that goes on in the month of May, and I'm grateful for women like you who will go out of their way to speak up to women and let them know you're not alone. I know it seems catty out there in the real world because it is, and bitches be tripping. It's just what it is, but there are women out here, myself included, who want the best for other women, like sincerely. So we're just using our platforms to share that and to highlight that there is help out there.
Absolutely.
Okay,
so some may know, some may not know. My name is Khaleea Powell, and what I'm coming to talk to you guys about is everything that my good girlfriend right here just said and then some. So I have a mental health mixer that will be taking place this month, May the 21st, from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. The link is in the bio, and also I believe once
it will be here. Don't even worry about it. It'll be there.
Yeah. So you'll be able to get all the information there from the website. You can do ticket purchasing. You can see who our panelists are.
Tell them a little bit about your panelists.
Okay, so my panelists that I have, Veronica Davis, absolutely amazing.
I actually met Miss Veronica before. I don't know if you watched my previous live that I did, but I spoke on a little bit. I went to her for marriage counseling actually before we got married, and she was real with us. She was like, she's like, there's this triangle, right? There's a husband and a wife and God. The closer you guys get to God, the closer you get to each other. But if you allow people on the outside to come in, it's not gonna work. So she told us if you're gonna let people on the outside come in, don't get married and definitely don't have no baby. But she was right. We both had to find out like, hey, this is something that we're doing. It's about us, not the kids, even though they came first. Not the parent, because it's essentially when you get married, that's between you and that person. Y'all become one. You take on their burdens and their karma and all of that. So you gotta be careful. And you gotta be willing. It has nothing to do with anybody else. It's just between you and that person.
Absolutely.
So Miss Veronica is the truth. She ain't gonna sugarcoat shit. Okay, so if you're looking for that, don't come to the mental. The thing is, the truth will set you free. I said that before. But most of us were raised to sweep shit under the rug. Most of us are raised to be embarrassed when things aren't right or whatever. But ain't shit new under the sun. There's nothing that you are going through or that I've been through or will go through that nobody else has. And I think sometimes we need that reminder because we be thinking we out here alone or God's picking on us or what do we do to deserve this? No, this is a wicked ass world. It's not you. It's the world we live in. So when you understand it's not just raining on you, it's raining on everybody.
It makes it a lot more bearable.
It makes it a lot more bearable. So we're just here to say, we see you. You are not alone. And there's so many of us out here who are willing to talk. Because a lot of people feel lonely and don't have nobody to talk to.
Yeah.
And that's really not the case. If you have access to the World Wide Web, there's somebody somewhere going through the same shit you're going through. Or who done already got through what you're going through. You just gotta be willing to open up your mouth. The truth will set you free. You can't be all tucked away like, oh, ain't nothing wrong with me. All of us fucked up. All of us. And I'm sorry, I'm laughing to keep crying. We're all diagnosable. I don't want to say fucked up because fucked up sounds so bad. But when I say it like that, because everybody thinks their case is so extreme. Everybody think that what they've been through is just so fucked up because a lot of times it is.
Yeah. So
know that, yes, we're all fucked up, but guess what? It's still workable. My deck is old, but I can still shuffle with it. What we talked about earlier? I talked. It don't matter. It's just your turn. That's right. It's just your turn.
Yep.
But grow through what you go through.
Exactly. And I always tell people that I do not make excuses. I make adjustments. I learned that from my pastor.
Excuses or results, baby.
Exactly.
You can have both.
Exactly. That's something that I learned. Absolutely love my man of God, Pastor Michael Clue Jr. You know, y'all tap in. He do music too.
And I think that's an important thing you just brought up. You don't necessarily need church, but you need some type of faith, something to believe in, some home base that you can go to that says everything will be okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely, because everybody, I feel like, gets caught up in whether you're saying Jesus, whether you're saying the universe, whether you're saying God, whether you're saying, you know, it's about, you know, what has been downloaded in your spirit.
That's right.
You know, at the end of the day, we all have different religions. Exactly. We have different denominations.
Well, what type of guy would be upset with you for studying or for respecting someone else's differences or respecting what you were taught or going to try something different than what you were taught? God wouldn't be upset with you. Not the God. If God is how everybody say he is. Like, but give yourself grace to make mistakes. To question things, question existence, question it all. Really, like, the only people who have a problem with you questioning them are liars. God is not a liar. Exactly. So, I'm not against any religion or any book. I'm just saying, think for yourself. Exactly. Fuck what the world tell you it's supposed to be. How do you feel? What's true to you? Because you the only one got to live with it. What you eat this morning? I don't know. It's not rumbling in my tummy, and vice versa.
Exactly.
So as close as we are in this moment, the decisions she make don't affect me unless I allow them to. Unless we share space. Unless, you know what I'm saying. So certain people's opinions and stuff you can't care about.
You cannot. And just kind of piggybacking off of, you know, what has already been said, when it comes to your faith, when it comes to, you know, your religion, when it comes to your belief system, you hold true to that. And I'm a believer, you know, I believe in Jesus. I believe in, you know, Christianity, you know, to a certain degree. You know, you have people who question it, but you have to seek, because that's just like in school.
And they don't teach us questioning is not condemning. Questioning does not mean you're saying it is wrong. It's like your child asking you for more understanding. And the Bible says, seek and you shall find. So you won't get the answers unless you are willing to question it.
Yep, absolutely.
I don't have a peace of mind when it comes to God and religion because I decided to. Me and God was beefing. I didn't believe in God. My grandma had me studying with the Jehovah's Witness down the street, the Baptist across the street. We went to Catholic school. We joined the AME church. I was baptized at 12. So I'm exposed to all these different religions. But most importantly, I was looking for love. What is love? My mama was nowhere to be found because she had an addiction that kept her away, and she was heartbroken because my daddy was killed. My daddy was gone. You know what I'm saying? So as a kid, I'm like, where the fuck God at? Because all this bad stuff has happened to me as a kid. You know, what you're supposed to have, the people you need the most, they were not there. So me and God was beefing, especially seeing Jesus, this white man, and that's God's son. So in the real world, white men don't care about me. As a kid, I know it. It's a fact. Okay, white men don't care about little black girls. So how could Jesus' dad, a white man, care about me? So a lot of people say the color of God isn't important, or the color of Jesus. I don't think God's a color. God's a frequency. Or the color of Jesus is not important. But if you're a little bitty brown person and you think white people hate you, it is very important what Jesus looks like. It's very important, because that's my own personal experience. I can't say what goes through other kids' heads, but I had to find peace with that. In the Bible, it says he had bronze skin and hair like wool. So the Bible describes him as a muff that looks like me. This is wool hair. This is bronze skin. So the Bible clearly describes it that way. It's just the image that they portray it's not.
It's the math, not math.
But God's not mad at me for asking these questions. That's the thing. A lot of us have been raised to believe if you ask these things, if you question anything in the Bible, like, then you're against God, but you're not. No, you're human. And you're reading a book that God motivated to be reading it, but humans touched it. There are books missing out of it. It's King James's version. It's a version of a book. No disrespect at all. I'm being realistic. We have science books, right? And we have different people's version of science books. There's several different versions of the Bible, and each one interprets things slightly different. If I tell you a secret and then you go tell somebody a secret, it's going to come out completely different. So you have to know God for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, that's 100, because that's what I was going to say. You know, even in school, they don't teach us the full, history, or what our history. We get the European style.
Oh, we get started with slaves. And then we learn about King Tut, but they never say he was black. They don't want you to know that. And then they talk about the Middle East or Egypt as if it's not right there. Pull up a map. I need to know, where is the Middle East? Somebody, where's the Middle East? Because the math don't be math.
It don't. It don't.
But you will drive yourself nuts if you don't question things. We are humans, or souls having a human experience. So it's like, why would you be out here not living, not questioning anything, not trying things, not wondering why things went this way, how they work that way? Because once you understand how things work and why things went a certain way, you can avoid them, or you can actually go into them. Just like you sign up to be a doctor. You know you have to go to school for 8 years to become that. Mm-hmm. Whatever it is you want your life to look like, decide that and then align yourself with it. No matter how old you are, how late it is, how long it's been since you went to school. If you've never done it before, it doesn't matter. If there's a desire in your heart, do that shit.
Yeah, absolutely. and even with that being said, that's with anything. We were talking, originally when it comes to being a mom, when it comes to just being a woman.
Forget that is motherhood. Or I shall say parenthood. Daddies be struggling too.
They do. I know a few myself, but that's a part of your mental. That's a part of knowing okay, I need to take time and I do need to decompress, or I do need to take time, because how can you pour into someone
if you haven't poured into yourself?
If you're not full, how can you truly be a great wife? Or even before you start being things to other people, how can you be the best you to yourself?
And you can. And we think, because sometimes we think that better than what was so wrong is wonderful, when really it's just not as bad. It's still not good, it's just not as bad.
Yep.
So it just takes evaluation. And I think sometimes we get burnt out. And we don't want to, and then burnt out, and then we don't want to go back there. And then we realize, it's because I haven't taken care of me.
Absolutely.
We be looking around for everybody else. Why don't nobody take care of me? I take care of everybody. Bitch, why you don't do it? And I'm talking to me, y'all. I'm not just talking, I'm talking to me. Why aren't you important enough to take care of like you take care of everybody around you? Why aren't you important enough to forgive like you forgive everybody around you? Why aren't you important enough to work for like you do everybody around you? Like these people will... Not these people. I'm not even going to do that. Some of us will go above and beyond to prove to people that we love them, but we won't prove it to ourselves. Loving yourself is way deeper than dressing up or eating some food you think you like. Loving yourself sometimes consists of not eating the food that you like.
It's denying that flesh.
Because me and that juicy seafood, we got this thing going, right? But it's too... I be getting the juicy special sauce. It's too salty. Like, I'll get shaky, y'all. I'm too... People think because you're skinny, you can't have high blood pressure. But literally, I went to the doctor and they was like, hey, Shawty, you got to work on that. So I had to slow down because I love me. So I could arrogantly say I love me, so I'm going to have it. Or I could really love me and say, I'm not going to have it because I need to be here. Mm-hmm. I need to not be in pain. I need to not be shaky, like common sense. So a lot of us think that feeding our flesh is what love is, but it's not, actually. Sometimes it's starving that flesh and feeding your spirit. And I want y'all to know, a lot of things that I talk about, not even a lot of things, 100% of the things I talk about, unless I'm telling you a story, I didn't think about that shit. I didn't write it down. I didn't say, let me make this point. I literally will ask God, what should I say? And I'm learning as I speak. I'm like, bitch, you need to apply that to yourself as I speak all the time. So it's not me getting on here thinking I know everything and trying to gather nobody. It's literally me healing, and I'm letting people come on, y'all, let's heal together. That's what it is. I'm not a healed person. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. It's like you cut your finger, right? And you think nothing of it because by tomorrow the next day, or if you bite your tongue, you think nothing of it because tomorrow the next day it'll be healed. So when things happen to our feelings, when it's small, we don't think about it. But the deeper the cut, the longer it kind of takes to get over it, to get through it.
Absolutely.
So we all are healing beings, if possible. Some people are just picking at their wounds. They're not even healing. They're just out here existing. So actively pursue whatever is wrong. Forgive your parents. Okay, Mother's Day just passed. It was hard for so many people. Forgive your moms because she's human in this fucked up ass world. Forgive yourself because you are human in this fucked up world. And just do the best you can. And focus on what you have and what you don't have. Like, that's what I'm telling myself this year. I'll usually be ready to beat a bitch up. Okay, I did fight, right? Every year I'm upset around Mother's Day. And I am working on that. And I have to be honest and say it. I didn't even realize how upset I was with my mom and dad just for not being here. But it makes me wonder how many more people out here holding a grudge on their mom or daddy just because they dead. You really mad because that lady not here? Like even if it was suicide, because I'm like, even if they didn't choose, even if it was that, it's a mental illness. The longer I live in this world, the more I understand why nobody wants to be here. How selfish is it to wish people to be here? In this world, you know what's going on today? People are shaking in their boots because they think a war is about to be started. Like, people are spending their last on supplies to stock up so their family can survive. And then there's some people who can't stock up. So it's the real world is wicked. Okay? It's wicked. So you have to think for yourself. The world will tell you this, you're supposed to love this place. Why? Worship this place. Why?
Because it's beneficial. Because if you are in love with the things that they are putting on the mass media, if you're in love with the things that they're pushing as the to-do, it's a business, it's a corporation. That's what it comes down to. So what I tell people,
even the beauty industry,
yeah, because you're pushing a certain agenda. You have some people who stay true to who they are, and that's who I find myself gravitating to. I've been there where I've helped other people.
But think about it. Who's billionaires right now? Kanye, right? Elon. These people are individuals. This is what they have in common. Nothing. They're all themselves. So I think the life hack is to be you. The closer you can get to who you are supposed to be, the richer you will be, I believe. I think everything that you desire will come to you when you know who you are. So that's the trick. Study you. Fuck with you. Like, we be with ourselves, but we fight ourselves in our minds. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to think about that. We don't want to address that. But sometimes, don't just stop there. Address it. Let the thought come. Process that shit. Cry about that shit. Call somebody about that shit. Whatever you have to do, but we literally walking around angry ass adults because of things that happened to us as kids that we never got to talk about. And when it's our mom or our daddy who did it, it can't be wrong. But we know this shit be wrong. Your mom and daddy human. You parents watching, you done fucked up before as a parent. I have too. So understand they're just human. But talk about that shit if you have to. Call somebody. Call me. Like, I do free group coaching sessions every Tuesday at 6 p.m. So you can go sign up. You can, if you want an emergency, you can sign up. You can pay it on there. I'm a punk, okay? So I don't know how this is going to work. If you come to me and you really need help, and I have time, I'm going to be there. So you can book me. You can be there every Tuesday. I have a list of therapists and licensed psychologists. Like, there are people out there who will talk to you. Not to mention there are so many support groups on Facebook. Whatever you're going through, you think nobody else? Shit, go look in a Google search. Like, in astrology, people with 12th house planets, it's like hidden. So if your sun there, your personality is hidden. There's groups for that. There's support groups for that. So just be real about shit. That's how you win. No matter how good, bad, or ugly it is, you be honest about it, and then you can move on. You cannot trick the universe. And when I say the universe, I am not saying you can't trick God. I'm saying God made the universe. This is the shit we get to use. We can't use God. We get to use the universe. So if you really want a husband, but you ain't got a man, don't be around here saying, I don't need no man, I don't want a man. When you know in your heart you want a husband, say that. Say my husband on his way. I'm waiting for my husband. Don't pretend like that ain't what you want. Because what can I do? If I was a magic fairy, or if you were God and I said, hey God, I want a man, but I don't really want him. My hands are tied. I can't make a move for you. But as soon as you say and you for real about it, because most of the time we have to get tired and cry and be fucked up before we plead to God and say what we really and truly want. We be prideful.
Now I will say with that, for me, I do agree with you, but even to the point of going back and saying that those individuals, because of what they're making and what they have, that's because we are the true currency. Everything that you have is literally within inside you. It's up to you if you're going to be disciplined. It's up to you if you're going to be intentional. It's on you if you're going to set healthy boundaries to make sure. And it's up to you if you're going to stay postured in the way that you need to stay postured so that you can get to the position. A lot of people
those lessons.
A lot of people get to the position, but then that's posture that you were in, that studying, that then being disciplined and doing, you got it, and now all of that falls to the wayside. But why would you give away and do away with everything that helped you get to this position? Right. Now that you're here, now you need to be able to sustain and thus learn more tools and skills to go to the next level.
Period.
But if you're not doing that, then then what are you doing? And even when it comes to saying one thing, but in your heart wanting something else, that goes even down to your conscious and subconscious. Your subconscious doesn't know that you're playing when you're saying that. So you're saying it, your subconscious is hearing it.
And
just
has
like
no clue whether you're serious.
So because you don't want that, you find yourself self-sabotage. You find yourself not being in the places that you need to be in and not attracting the
because you're bullshitting yourself. Because your pride won't let you say, that's what I do desire. Like, I remember saying I ain't like J's when I was in school, but really my grandma wasn't going to let me buy none. She said that the tennis shoes were for boys. So he's like, I don't even like them shoes, but really I couldn't get them. That's how people are in this real life. We pretend we don't want things because in our heart we think we can't have them, but it's just not your time because you haven't been real about wanting it. You can't ask God for a house and you don't take care of your apartment. Those Absolutely. Who can be trusted with little can be trusted with much. That's just what it is. He's not going to bless you with a good husband if you don't mind sleeping with other people's husband. Why would he do that? You don't honor marriage. Yes. It's common sense. And if you can pretend like you don't respect the code or honor God's wishes, but if in your heart you do, it's going to affect you like it does. So you can't trick your own heart. If in your heart you feel guilty because you're out here doing whatever you're doing, that guilt that you're carrying is that's it. That's the punishment.
and you're not gonna go far because you're not gonna be able to enjoy it because you know what it is that you're doing. Regardless if I know, regardless if she know, regardless if Bill down the street know, you know, and
Lord
God knows. I'm trying to tell you. So it's who are you really hurting in the end if you're not putting yourself?
And it's always pride. We always lie and pretend because we want to appear a certain way. But for who and for what? We all human. We all eating shit. Everybody got gas.
I'm trying to tell you.
I hate to say it like that, but people really be around here putting preachers and celebrities and people on a pedestal as if they better or no. There's no amount of money, there's no amount of actions, there's no titles that makes anybody better than the next man.
It doesn't. We all
be better than you, but be better than you. Like, and that's my whole thing. And that's where the alchemy comes from. Everybody, like not everybody, but some people thinking that this alchemy shit means that I'm mixing stuff, I'm doing spell work. No. We're literally changing through conversation. I am who I am and I'm strengthened today because of conversations with women, with my sisters, with my grandmother, with women who don't even know me, with the nurse in 7th grade who told me nothing less than no pain, no pleasure. That healed me. Conversations. So alchemy is making something and taking it to its highest self, right? Making it the best that it can be. So literally, we're going to talk to each other until we're who we want to be, who we need to be, who we're comfortable with, who we have peace with. It's not amount of money or a title. It's literally who we have peace with. So we're going to talk to each other. And I encourage everybody out here to talk to somebody until you're at peace with your situation. Do what you need to do.
Whatever that looks like.
Whatever that looks like.
Because it may be therapy for some people.
And life is too fucking short. Life's too short. My mom died at 39 in a car accident, y'all. Nobody went out and killed her. She had cancer. She wasn't not eating right. I don't know what the fuck she was doing, but it was a car accident. And that could happen to any one of us. So maybe that, it's a gnat in my face. So maybe that's why I live like I do. Because I know tomorrow's not promised. So I don't know, it might sound scary. Nobody wants to imagine not having their mom or whatever, but me seeing that my mom didn't make it to 40, she was like, when she turned 40, she was going to cut her locks because she had these free-form locks. And I was like disgusted with them because I only knew Rostas to have locks. Like, black women didn't wear locks at that point. But live your life while you alive, bruh. I was spooked to turn 32 because my daddy was killed at 32. I'm 33 years old right now. 3 days before my 32nd birthday, my cousin was 33 years old and she died from a seizure, y'all. So it's like, while you're afraid that you might not make it to this, you might not make it till tomorrow, and you might. Hey, Auntie Brooke. That's my heart right there. And that's my mama's sister. I didn't meet her until after my mama died, y'all. Like, my mom was so ashamed of who she had become that she didn't even talk to her own siblings, y'all. Don't be that. Your siblings love you. Call them. They don't care what type of situation you're in. Don't be embarrassed. Please call them. Because you never know what will happen. Sorry to take it all the way there. TT, I don't know if I'm emotional or nothing, because I'm kind of getting emotional, but this is the reality. You have to love people while they're alive, and you have to live while you are alive. And sometimes it's uncomfortable because we're going through some crazy shit, but you have to go through to get through. So when you're going through it, if you just stand there in the rain, you just get soaked. Go through that shit. Run through that shit. Okay? When I find a problem, people hate me for it, but I don't give a damn. Because if we pretend there's not a problem, like I just did with somebody else, and that shit, if you pretend, if you let it pile up, it's gonna come out. You know how if you hold a fucking water hose like this, the more that it comes, the further that shit gonna shoot. You gotta let the water run. Your emotions, you gotta let the water run. Because if you hold that shit up, when you let it go, it's gonna hurt somebody.
Yep.
And I keep learning this the hard way.
It's a fallout.
I'm not too proudful to say that. I'm learning the hard way. Like, one of my friends that I would have never hurt in a million years, I ended up hurting her feelings because my feelings was hurt. And I know me, I would end up back being friends with her, and she just wasn't good for me. So I just went all the way left. But if I had just talked to her as I experienced the things that I didn't quite agree with, it would have never built up to that. But she did one thing. I did one thing she didn't like, and she was upset about it, and I just blew up about everything that I was upset about. And that ain't fair to nobody. It's not fair to nobody. And then more recently, I don't even want to talk about that shit. Just let that water run. Don't hold your faucet up. It's got to come out eventually. Don't sweep shit under the fan, because that shit's gonna pile up and hit the fan, and shit'll be everywhere. Address whatever it is as it comes. Understand you ain't the only one going through it. Mm-hmm. This is life.
Yeah. You have to move forward. Give yourself grace. That's what it comes to. And I just bringing it full circle. That's what this event is about. Everything that we've talked about, everything, whether it's with friends, whether it's with coworkers, whether it's with family members, whatever the case may be,
you gotta talk to somebody.
You have to.
You have to
talk to that person. If you for some reason just can't see where you can talk to that person, then you need to find you somebody professional that you can talk to and who can help speak life in you. Your circle is so very important, because you need your tribe is. I mean, it's essential.
And there's so many people watching this who are probably like, I don't have anybody. You're not looking for nobody. Ask the Lord. It may not come packaged like you think it's supposed to come packaged, but somebody's there. It might be my black ass. Call me. DM me. But you have not, because you ask not. Everything in life that I never had, I went looking for it. And then when I started looking for it, I got it. Like, asking you shall receive. But that don't mean, like, once you get on this healing journey, you get there and then that's it. Nah. You uncover shit, you address shit, and you keep going and you keep growing. Yeah. And I think that has to be crystal clear, because people be like, I just want to heal. It's not a place you'll get to. Or people want to get over losing dead folks. You're not going to get over it. You just get stronger and find different ways to deal with it. I think that's a way more healthy thing to learn, and say, oh, it comes with time. Because you're going to be waiting, and now you matter. Because how much longer I got to go before I don't feel like this? And it's just unreal. You're going to be chilling, and then something happens, and now you triggered again, and you're in your feelings again. So, like, grief is sneaky, and it's you can't do push-ups to be stronger. You can't prepare yourself to lose anybody. You can't prepare yourself to be without anybody. All we can do is, and I know this might sound crazy, but focus on who we have. Because next year, I might not be able to talk to her. So we can sit here on this episode and talk all day about who's not here with us, or we can honor each other in this moment, because we might not have that opportunity to do it. So that's what keeps me sane. I'm trying not to just stay busy like I've been doing all these years. I'm trying to address whatever issues I have, because that anger comes out on other people, and I can't have that. So I'm working on my issues. I'm not just out here perfected. Therapists have therapists. Life coaches have life coaches. Like, we all need help. I remember when I first told my uncle I was a kid, I want to be a psychologist. He was like, well, who they talk to when they need help? They self. That was a good one. But it's cool to talk to yourself. You have to. Talk to yourself.
You knew you the longest.
You knew you the longest.
That's how I feel. I talk to me all the time, and then once I get it all out, and I'm okay, God, now I'm ready to have a conversation. People, even when it comes to prayer, people like, I don't know how to pray. It's that's what prayer is. It's a conversation.
Like, and I don't hear no, oh, this is God. You should do this. You should do that. No, like, listen to your life. God will use the kids to talk to you.
Yes.
God will use an infomercial to talk to you, a billboard. God will use all kind of animals. He will use anything to talk to you.
Okay, so I don't know, because I'm a little southern a little bit, but I'm also northern. I'm a mixed military baby. But I remember hearing this story, and I don't know if it's a biblical one or not, or just one that's been said, but they talk about the man who was trapped on the roof, and it was flooding and all of that. And
he kept saying, God help me.
Yeah, he kept saying, oh, God's going to send somebody. The man came through and was, oh, no, I'm waiting on the Lord.
I'm waiting on the Lord.
The Lord going to come get me. You send somebody else, and he sent somebody else.
I'm waiting on the Lord.
So it's like and that goes back to being disciplined and tapped in and having that discernment to know when it is something that God has come to answer.
And I think it's a beautiful thing because it makes you can't sit around trying to treat the royalty like royalty. You have to treat everybody like they made in Jesus.
You don't know. You don't know.
You don't know who God's using to talk to you. You don't know if you're entertaining an angel. I have a sign on my door, in my window that says, "With faith, love, and hope." And when I was putting nobody was in my shop. I was putting myself together before I even opened up. And my little niece was here. And these two guys walked past. They looked like meth addicts. I'm just going to be honest. And I said it to her. And then they walked in. I said, oh, shit. Because I didn't know what they wanted. And they walked in my store and they were selling these Jesus pieces. Like things with God on it, crosses and all that. And I felt bad. They were like from some kind of mission where they were collecting money. So I bought it, of course. But he said, can I pray for you? Okay. And the prayer he prayed for me, like he prayed over my store, he prayed prosperity and protection or whatever, and he left, and I'm like, oh my God, that might have been Jesus. Now, what if I had treated him like a meth addict, as if meth addicts deserve to be treated less than? I want to say something about addicts. That is an illness, you guys, okay? People have addictions to whether it be prescriptions or crack or, I want to say weed, but.
We don't have addicts. I mean, they don't have addicts. Those are people that smoke.
Nah, but it's an illness. Like, it's certain stuff you can't just try and then be off of. Like, you really be fucked up behind it. So, you can't turn your nose up at people. Like, you just have to be grateful that you ain't get got.
Yeah.
Like, I got this stalker chick, and they said somebody put something in her drink. First, I heard it was a man. Then they said it was her own friends, who she was a stripper or something. But somebody put something in her drink, and she's not herself anymore. So, it's drugs and it's all kind of stuff. So, you got to honor yourself enough to not fuck with people whose vibe don't feel right. I don't care how cool she is, how much she say she love you. If it don't feel right, remove yourself. That first mind, that's God. That's God. That's how you can hear God too.
Yeah, he's not loud. He's very gentle, very subtle. That's why you have to. You got to know what you know.
Yeah. So for women like us, to have a successful life, to have peace of mind, we have God, and we are honest, and we aren't ashamed of what we've been through. We talk to people about it. We are raw individuals. But that's how you win.
It's up to you to cook it. I just give it to you raw. You tailor that thing, cut off what you don't need, and make it applicable to your life. Yes. We are just supposed to share our testimony. You may not identify with us verbatim with everything.
And I saw a man say the other day, he said the reason why you're not where you need to be is because you're ashamed of what you've been through. And God wants to use that to get you where you need to be. So you have to be, who's that, Saudi Arabia? Oh, that's cool. But anyway, you have to not be ashamed of what you've been through, because God literally is waiting for you to embrace that, to use it to help somebody else.
Yeah, there is no testimony without a test. Yes. I learned that very, 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 very young.
How far you gotta go? You need 20 minutes. Should we wrap it up? Because I don't want you to be late.
I mean, we can.
We're gonna wrap it up, but she's coming back.
Yeah,
she's definitely coming back within the next 90 days.
Yes.
To talk again, maybe. So I'm gonna put the links if you're in the city, May 21st, you need to show up.
Alabama,
if you're not in the city and you want to do a virtual chat, you can do a group chat. And sometimes don't nobody sign but one person. And if only you sign up, then it's like a free one-on-one with me. So just like if you really want to talk, do it. I'm like not judgmental at all. sometimes people think when I say 2 and 2 is 4, I'm being judgmental. But no, if I can clearly see where it's gonna go, you cannot be upset if I tell you where it's gonna go. You can take a blind man to see certain shit. Yeah, so I'm gonna link in everything. And I'm excited.
We
are excited. I'm proud of you.
Thank you
for getting it together, because that's a lot of work.
Yes, it was a lot of razzle dazzle. That's why I'm telling y'all, come out May 21st. It's 11 to 2. She will provide all the information. You can definitely check out the link in my bio and on any post that you see.
And these are real professional women there to assist.
Awesome. That's when I put my heart and my soul, and I tell people, just even with this, if it's God's will, baby, it's God's will,
baby.
So I want y'all to come out. I'm putting my all into it, and I know it's going to be an amazing shift. So I hope to see you all there.
And you know what? I'm going to sponsor somebody's ticket. So if you're listening and you really want it, email me info@thealchemistacademy.com and say I need it. Whoever takes me that first, I'm a sponsor.
Period.
So, yeah. This has been our episode, and we will see you guys later.
Peace.